What's up, everybody? We're here to recap Knicks and Pistons Game 3 of the first round of the NBA playoffs. My name is Matt Brown. I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast, and this world is a better place because you are here to join us. So, excuse me. As we are here after quite the night, a big night in sports, the NFL draft was there. The Giants with two very exciting picks, and we have the tone set for the beginning of the 2025 NFL season. Plus, we have other interesting things taking place there. A thrilling game between the Grizzlies and the Oklahoma City Thunder. That game is in progress as we are recording, but Oklahoma City has come back from a 29-point deficit. And it seems that at home in the first ever playoff game in the Intuit Dome, the Clippers and Nuggets are playing what seems to be a lopsided game for the Clippers. That is also in progress while we're at home. But the only Eastern Conference playoff game that took place with the Knicks and the Pistons, game three. The New York Knicks narrowly win the game by a score of 118 to 116, and the Knicks officially take a 2-1 series lead. And before I add to any of the mix, I just want to remind you, like, to subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on our podcast platforms at YouTube, and don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter Pro Convo Pod, on TikTok at Productive Conversations, and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And yeah, it was great to see what happened. After a tough loss in game two, the Knicks go on the road in Detroit, bounce back with the loud Knicks fans in the building, despite Detroit and the Little Caesars Arena doing everything in their power to make sure no Knicks fans were in that building, led by Timmy Chalamet and Ben Stiller. And the Knicks did the adjustments they needed to. Jalen Brunson was more of a facilitator in the game, wasn't much of a ball hog that he's criticized to be. And we got a great line from him, nearly getting a triple double. Let me just quickly get that. Another 30-point game in the playoffs. Typical JB in the playoffs, even after a slow start. And quickly with the line there. Look at this. Jalen Brunson, 30 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. We'll take that. Karl-Anthony Towns with a 30-point game, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. OG Anunoby contributed 22, 2, and 3. Mikal Bridges finally stepping up, 27 and 3. And again, we will take that. We actually, as we have explained, this series has been chippy. People have been physical. There's been plenty of contact, pushing back and forth, and we saw somebody who has been accused of being soft in this league actually stick up for his teammates. That's Karl-Anthony Towns. Great work for him, standing up specifically to Paul Reed. And I saw fire in Karl-Anthony Towns' eyes that I've not seen in a long time, if ever. And then from there, after getting the technical, he scored 11 of his 31 points in the first quarter alone. And that's what I'm talking about. Plus, JB with his performance after being named the clutch player of the year, we'll take that. I mean, even Josh Hart making some noise with a buzzer beater at the end. Great stuff there. Fuck the controversial finish, even if it was anything. With 5 seconds left in the game, while the Pistons were trailing by 3, we thought Jalen Brunson committed a turnover, but it wasn't called, and people were frustrated, confused, and ultimately the Knicks ran away with it. We'll see if that adds to any of the fire and fury for the Pistons. I'm sure it will. They definitely, though we saw the Pistons usually dominate the first 3 quarters of game one and game two, more the Knicks this way. The Pistons did make a comeback, and yeah, they closed it to as much as a 3-point game, but the Knicks held on, and ultimately the changing of some of the play on the court, specifically how not much ISO ball from Jalen Brunson and just passing it more and getting in the right positions, getting those pick and rolls, the classic Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson pick and roll we saw tonight, and we got to where we are. I do think this will give a lot of fire to Detroit, Sunday's game is a must win. Must win. If the Knicks lose in game 4, I think we're going to have a 7-game series like I predicted. But I do think if they could get the momentum and win game 4 on Sunday in Detroit, then I expect game 5 Tuesday night, Madison Square Garden, and the Knicks will have a great chance to close the series out, and we'll worry about the second round when we get there. But ultimately, it was a great game with the right adjustments from game 2 to game 3. And again, the Pistons, made the push. Their bench looked really good today too, but the Knicks ultimately pulled this off. And Cade Cunningham and Tim Hardaway Jr. were the two thorns in the needles there, especially Cade with 24-7 and 11. Tim Hardaway with 24-2 and 1. But again, it was more of the bench again, especially from Malik Beasley and Dennis Schroeder making big noise, getting huge bench points there. But yeah, I think this shows that the Knicks can make the adjustments when they need to. Again, this shows that this Pistons team, they'll make sure they'll try to beat you up, as Bach said. If the way they've historically have had their runs is when they've been more physical. So they're clearly trying to show that again. Pistons tradition and Pistons way. But if anything, seeing Karl-Anthony Towns stick up to players and push around might be a different story. So great stuff from the Knicks tonight. Still take this Pistons team seriously. Just a few bad mistakes, some bad turnovers, and some missed shots. Then we are in a different position than we are right now. But ultimately, Knicks have the advantage, and I expect them to make some noise for Game 4, which will be on Sunday. And Sunday night we'll have an instant reaction to that. And just quickly seeing if there's a line open, if anything, for Sunday's game. 1:00. The Knicks are actually opening as a 1.5-point underdog. So they expect Detroit with the -1.5. All right, we'll see what that is. Again, I think the Pistons have shown that they can really have a good bench. They can use their bench to score. If they could just facilitate the ball more and get some more threes in, I think it's a different story. But it'll be a close game once again. But mostly these games have been close, with the Knicks edging, and we'll see if hot heads get even hotter and somebody just starts swinging. I wouldn't be surprised. But for now, Knicks win game 3. We'll take it. We'll see you again Sunday night and react to game 4 of the Knicks and Pistons Sunday night. And we will enjoy Sunday afternoon's 1:00 game between the Pistons and the Knicks. So I'll see you then. We'll kick off another busy week of productive conversations where we react to the draft, where we do our 2 tweet caps. We have a Magic Mind episode as well. We'll have a show every day this week for you starting on Sunday. So we'll rest up. We'll continue to enjoy more playoff basketball. And we'll watch the rest of the NFL draft as well. But ultimately, I'm a happy man as a Giants fan. I don't know if Jackson Dart's going to be the answer, but we will see. They definitely have high expectations with him in the first round. I like what I saw from Ole Miss and getting to the college football playoff, especially almost upsetting. They almost upset. They almost upsetting Alabama, which was pretty insane if I can remember off the top of my head. But regardless, though, we're going to have some very interesting. We're going to have a very good sports weekend, and then we're going to talk all about it. So I'll see you guys then. Go Knicks. Can't wait for Sunday. Talk to you then.